So Satan answered the Lord and said, "Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not made a hedge around him, around his household, and on all that he has on every side? You've blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But now stretch out your hand and touch all that he has, and he'll surely curse you to your face."
And verse 9, what I meant is that verse 9 is the motivation for the whole plot, for the whole story. Can you read just verse 9 again? Because that's the whole thing.
So Satan answered the Lord and says, Does Job fear God for nothing?
And that's the leverage for the whole book. That is going to be the test. This is the reason for the trial, for the pain that Job suffered.
Right.
Does he fear the Lord for nothing? And the word in Hebrew is chinam. Chinam in Hebrew is with no money. If you get it for free, for free. That's chinam. Does he fear the Lord for free without accepting anything? And I think it's not only, it shouldn't be only the question of the whole book. It should be the question above every believer. Are we fearing the Lord because he deserves it, or as an excuse to get something out of it?
Right.
That should be, I think, the motivation. That should be a verse, above us all. If we hang it on the wall above our bed, to see it every day. Are we fearing the Lord for nothing? I mean, for free, or we're doing it in order to receive something, to get something?
There was actually a recent seeker here in Israel who contacted us and said, I want the Lord to come and work out all of my problems for me, solve everything every issue I have in my life. And I was kind of thinking as I was reading his chat, like, well, you're going to gain a lot of problems. He will fix a lot of problems of your heart, but you'll gain a lot of problems in this world. There's a lot of trouble. There's also blessings for walking in righteousness, but there's also a lot of trouble. There's a lot of trials.
Now, we have some examples, even from Genesis, for people that feared the Lord and they were willing to leave everything, to forsake everything, like Abram, for example, that was willing, and the Lord tested Abram and told him to take his son, his only son, remember?
Right.
And Abram was willing to do it because,
It's willing to sacrifice your riches, to lay down your life.
Actually, you can almost hear, when God is telling Abram to take his only son, you can almost hear him tell Sarah what Job told his wife on verse, 21? 21. What does Job said to his wife?
Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Exactly. So it says almost you can hear Abram telling Sarah, God gave us Isaac, and God can take Isaac, right? So Abram, but what about Joseph? When Joseph was in the pit, when he was in Potiphar's house, when he was in jail, he feared God even though he could gain nothing.
He never played the victim. He never. We don't know every moment of their story, but the culmination of it, it doesn't mean that he didn't have a bad day. I think that's hard. We kind of have to, sometimes we put a little too rosy colored glasses on these stories and just think that, Joseph was always encouraged, always full of faith. He probably was depressed for times, but I think that what we should think about it, what's the culmination of our story? Okay. If you were to summarize the last month, what trend are we following? Is it towards faith, or is it just like, because I think if we look at it daily, we can get a little depressed or self-condemnation of, oh man, I screwed up. The patriarchs struggled.
So here Satan in verse 9, Satan is asking, what's the motivation of Job? Is it, as education scholars say, intrinsic motivation or extrinsic motivation? Right. What's his motivation? Is it from fearing God, or because he wants something out of it? And that's one of the most loved example, the example that I most like the most in the Bible is from the three friends of Daniel. Remember the three friends when I think Nebuchadnezzar, the king, wanted to
Shadrach,
throw them.
Meshach, and Abednego.
Exactly, he wanted to throw them to the fire because they wouldn't bow down to the statue.
Right.
And what did they told the king, listen, The Lord that we serve can save us. He can save us from the fire. We will not bow down. But listen,
If he doesn't,
even if it doesn't, even if God doesn't save
Yeah.
us from the fire, we
Yeah.
shall not what?
we shall not bow our knees.
Exactly. That's intrinsic motivation.
That's boss right there.
They
That's
feared-
that's amazing. It's beautiful.
They feared God for free, for nothing.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't
Yeah.
owe us anything, we
Yeah.
owe him. So
Yeah.
if Satan asked God about the friends of Daniel, God would say, of course. Now with Job, there's a trial, and God is going to prove Satan in the whole book. And the whole book is dealing with that. God is going to prove Satan that Job is fearing God for nothing, for free, not because God blessed him.